So we are going to start our new topic called energy, and the first lesson will be about the different types of energy. So the learning intention for this lesson is to understand there are different types of energy, and the success criteria is that you can describe different kinds of energy. I can define kinetic and potential energy, and that you know the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy. So the success criteria should be things that you should be able to do by the end of this lesson. Okay, so first of all, what exactly is energy? The scientific definition of energy is that energy is the ability to do work. Okay, in other words, energy causes things to happen, that make things happen. So for example, you are able to run because you've got the energy which you get from your food. You are able to do classwork or homework because you've got energy to do that. Things are able to happen because they've got energy. So there are different types of energy. So for example, there's light energy, there's heat energy, or sometimes heat is also called thermal energy. So heat can also be called thermal energy. We've also got chemical energy, which is anything stored in a chemical reaction. So for example, like gas is chemical energy, or things in batteries as well can be called chemical energy. So it also be batteries. We've also got kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy, the word kinetic means to be moving. So anything that moves is called kinetic energy. So if you're riding a bike, that's kinetic energy. If you're walking, that is kinetic energy. If you're waving your hands or moving your feet, that is kinetic energy. And then lastly, we've also got electrical energy. Electrical energy is just basically electricity. So anything that has electricity will have electrical energy. There are also some other types of energy mentioned in the picture. So for example, we've also have sound energy. So sound energy is just anything that makes noise. Okay, so for example, you will have music, for example, that is sound energy. We've also got light energy. So this energy allows us to see. Okay, so anything that you can see, or like for example, like lamps, computer screens, will be light energy. And also, we've also had different types of energy, and all of these can be classified into renewable and non-renewable energy. So renewable energy, if you can remember from the resources on Earth topic, renewable energy are things that can be replaced very quickly. Okay, so renewable energy can be replaced very quickly. So they are energy that can be replaced quickly. Okay, so some examples of that will be solar energy. Can be renewed very quickly because once you use solar energy, the sun is always there. You can replace it very quickly. So things like hydro energy, energy from waves or water falling down very quickly, that's renewable. You can replace that really quickly. Non-renewable energy is energy that cannot be replaced quickly. Okay, so these are basically all of the energy from fossil fuels. So things like energy from coal, oil, and gas cannot be replaced quickly. Things like nuclear energy cannot be replaced quickly. So anything where you can't replace it quickly and it takes millions of years for it to replenish itself will be non-renewable types of energy. Another way we can categorize energy is kinetic and potential. Okay, so we've got kinetic energy and we've also got potential energy. Like we said before, kinetic energy is energy from movement. So anything that moves will have kinetic energy. Whereas potential energy is anything that is stored. So this is stored energy. So if someone tells you that you've got the potential to do something, it means that you've got the ability to do something, but you haven't really done it yet. That's the same as potential energy. If something has potential energy, it has the ability to do something, but it hasn't done it yet. Okay, so for example, if you've got like a battery, okay, a battery has the ability to turn whatever it has inside it into electricity, but it hasn't done it yet. Okay, it's in storage, it's being saved. So a battery, the chemical inside the battery, is also called stored energy. An interesting, or the most common way of talking about, for example, if you were on a roller coaster, let's say roller coaster, okay, this is my roller coaster, and there'll be a little person in a cart, okay, and the roller coaster will be moving down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, okay. It will be having potential energy and kinetic energy at different times. So I'm going to use P as potential and K as kinetic. So when it is up really high, it will have potential energy. When it's at the bottom, when it is falling to the bottom, it will have kinetic energy. Then potential energy. When it is falling, kinetic energy, potential energy, kinetic, potential, kinetic. So basically at its highest points, which are here, 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 and here, it will have the most potential energy. When it is at the bottom, which will be like here, 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 it will have the least amount of energy. Okay? Energy is energy that you get from being in a place that's really high. So for example, if there was, for example, a table, okay, and there was a tennis ball, okay, and the ground is here, and the tennis ball is going to fall from the table to the ground. Okay, when the tennis ball is on the table, it has potential energy because it has the ability to fall down, okay, but it hasn't done it yet. When it is actually falling down, it has kinetic energy, okay, so because it is actually moving. So anything that is up high will have potential energy because it is being stored. It has the potential, the ability to do something, to fall down, but it hasn't done it yet. And once it is falling down in the process, it will have kinetic energy. So to sum up, these are the things that you will need to know. First of all, you need to know there are different types of energy. That's the first thing you need to know, types of energy. So for example, there are light energy, sound energy, electrical energy. What else is there? Kinetic energy, potential energy. You also need to know the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy. Okay, remember, renewable energy, there are sources of energy that can be replaced really quickly, like solar energy. Non-renewable energy is energy that you can't replace quickly. So energy from coal, oil, natural gas, all those sources of fossil fuels are non-renewable. And lastly, you need to know the definitions of potential energy and kinetic energy. So remember, potential energy is any energy that is stored. Okay, it could be things that are held high up, or it could be things like chemical energy in the battery that is being stored but is not being used yet. And kinetic energy is anything that is moving. If something is moving, it has kinetic energy. Okay, so that's basically the end of lesson 1. What I'm going to do is I am going to have a look at the